To her new job of the city of Sacramento's new director of public safety accountability, LaTesha Watson told me she couldn't have started at a more poignant time. A former police chief, deputy, and a woman of color, she's faced racism herself, but she's ready for change, and we talked about her goals today. She writes, there is a sense of urgency in the evolution of policing in the United States after the senseless death of George Floyd under the knee of a Minneapolis officer.
And we're seeing across the country why oversight is needed.
LaTesha Watson is the new director of the Office of Public Safety Accountability for the city of Sacramento. She wrote an essay about police reform and her background in the Sacramento News and Review.
You can't have an engaged community if they're not informed. And so my job is to make sure our community understands what this office is for.
Her job is to oversee for the city police misconduct cases and build trust with the community. She comes from an extensive law enforcement background.
Since 11th grade, I've had experience in law enforcement.
The most pivotal point was her time at the Arlington Police Department in Texas.
I went from recruit officer to deputy chief of police.
She also served as the first African-American female police chief in Nevada for the Henderson Police Department. She was fired in part for creating distrust and division between management and unions and being uncooperative with an independent investigator, the Las Vegas Review-Journal reported in May 2019.
But across the country, law enforcement has never been kind to black female leaders. Never has been. So you have to be very strong. And you have to have a lot of courage, because what normally happens is that they want you to have a seat at the table, but they don't want you to have a voice. And I'm not one of those leaders. If I'm at the table, you're going to hear how I feel about it.
Dr. Watson is ready to get to work. She says her approach is proactive, not reactive.
As a person who wants to be a public servant, we shouldn't have to have a policy to tell someone to intervene if somebody's doing something wrong. We should have the courage and the strength because we raised our hand and volunteered to be a police officer.